All right, week 3. This is easily my favorite week in this class because this is where we get to really explore depth of field and shutter speeds and kind of tie all this information that we've been working on together and bring it into one cohesive place. You might easily be slightly confused by the end of the week, and that's okay. Hopefully you won't be, and you can go back and review these resources, and there's tons of other stuff online. And of course, fire away with questions when you've got them. But we're going to cover a lot of material. We're going to talk about shutter speeds and how they create a sense of time in your photographs, and how we can use those to do some cool stuff. Typically, you want to be freezing the action in your photo, which means that you're going to need a shutter speed of a 1/25th or higher to do that. 1/25th is my safety zone. Anything beneath that, I think that there can be blur, movement, and that kind of thing in my photographs. So keep that little tip in mind. And then we're going to be using the aperture to control depth of field. So how much of our image is in focus or out of focus. So, right now, if I get nice and close here, everything's in focus because it's like a super wide angle, itty bitty, tiny little camera sensor on this screen. So everything from me to the background there is in focus. But we don't want to do that. We want to be able to control what our images look like and have the look and a feel to them. So we'll be exploring that and looking at how to do that in depth. So the Camera Bootcamp has got all of that stuff in there. And then you're also going to have a good mastery of ISO and how that will allow you to choose different shutter speeds, different aperture, be able to tie that all together, because we sort of have that exposure triangle. You're going to do some research this week as to how aperture, shutter speed, and ISO work, and some people refer to it as a triangle. And the important part about that triangle is it's got to be an equilateral triangle. So if we change one thing, we got to change everything else. And so ISO is our third leg in that ability to try to make changes to our camera to get a proper exposure and to get the creative effect and look that we're looking for. Okay, so you've got Camera Bootcamp continued. That's going to be your big thing that you're going to be going through. Your assignments this week are going to be ISO, shutter, and aperture. It's a written Moodle forum. Actually, it's a Moodle assignment, posting your research about those things and your understanding so I can make sure that you are understanding what's going on there. You're going to critique 3 of your classmates' photos from Art of Seeing. That's due on Tuesday. And then your photo assignment, lines, pattern, texture, and time, is due 2 weeks from now. And so you can look at that. You're going to start that assignment, start shooting the work for it. I want you to continually be uploading work to your Lightroom catalog as you're going. And then you'll be turning that in at the end of next week. Next week, week 4, we'll be doing a lot more in depth with Lightroom and editing those photos and organizing them and that kind of thing. So you want to get a jump on shooting that assignment now so you have that work to work with next week. All right, fire away with questions. Enjoy the week, and we'll go from there.